What is going on? I should have found out for the 17, and today I'm going to be talking about the Minnesota sports playoffs here the Timberwolves are doing in the Minnesota Wild. But first, before we get into that, the Minnesota Twins play another game against the Washington Nationals today, and they fall to the Nationals. Another series loss in Minnesota Twins. Even though another little series loss by the Minnesota Twins, falling today to the Washington Nationals. The final score is 10-4. And they play again tomorrow at 1:10 against the Nationals. Going for the mound is for the Nationals, Patrick Corbin, and center grade for the Minnesota Twins. Patrick Corbin is 1-2 record with 6.30 ERA and 6.30 ERA, and center grade is 2-0 with a ERA 0.82. And I was at. So now let's get into the playoff talk. The Minnesota Timberwolves were at home yesterday against the Denver Nuggets for Game 3 of the first round of the NBA playoffs, and it was actually looking pretty good for a few moments for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they were trailing by 6 heading at halftime, and they were only trailed by 6 in a 3, so they were keeping it close, but and they covered close in the fourth quarter, but it was not enough as they fall Game 3 to the Denver Nuggets, 120 to 111, giving the Denver Nuggets a 3-0 lead in the series. They're going for the 4-0 sweep in Game 4. Hoping Minnesota Timberwolves can at least win in one game. Well, they had to win Game 4 in order to force a Game 5, but I really hope they win Game 4. If they lose Game 5, or somehow they win Game 4, Game 5, come back to Minnesota, win Game 6, and losing Game 7. Even though it has happened in sports before. We saw it in baseball with the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees. We saw that back in 2004. The Red Sox down 3-0 in the ALCS. Came back and beat the Yankees and won the World Series the same year. We saw it before the NBA players. But this was 3 games-1, featuring Golden State and LeBron, the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Cavs came back at 1-4-3. And yeah, like it's tough in the play. And we saw in the playoffs before in the NHL, but the Kings was down either 3-0, 3-1. I think it was 3-0 to the Sharks. They came back and won, and they won the Stanley Cup the same year, I believe. So creative things happen in the postseason for a reason. And but by looking at this, it might not happen this year. But I give the Minnesota a lot of credit. The Minnesota team was a lot of credit this year. They were down 21 Game 2, but they lost in Game 2 by 9. Hats off to that. Now let's look at the Minnesota Wild. The Minnesota won last night 5-1. It was to Game 3 of the series, making 2 games-1. Game 4, they're at home. Hope they can extend the series to 3 games-1. And they had to head back to Dallas for Game 5. And let's check the stats with this real quick. So Minnesota Wild outplayed, outshot, outhit the Dallas Stars yesterday. Segura got 2 goals. Foligno got 1 goal. Nyquist with assists. Marcus Johansson with a goal. Brian Hartman with a goal and 2 assists. Matt Bodie with assists. Joe Sinek left the game after his first shift in 19 seconds in. And we don't know much news than that. Prisov would have got assists yesterday, but it got to, I think it got to Kingsburg, I believe it was. But he's been producing pretty well in the playoffs with Minnesota Wild. But yeah, it'll be a really good icing on the cake. The Minnesota Wild get their revenge, win Game 4, go down in Dallas, beat them in Dallas for Game 5. That'll be the perfect revenge of having Noam Green sending them to Dallas. That'll be a perfect icing on the cake as a Minnesota Wild fan. So that will do it. I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know down in the comments what are your thoughts. Do you think the Minnesota Wild has a good chance of beating Dallas in this series? And do you get the Wolves a lot of credit this season? Let me know down in the comments. I'm so happy that the Wild are up 2-1 over Dallas. Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. And we will see you on the next video. Deuces before we go. Also, let me know in the comments who are you rooting for in the NBA playoffs. And also, if you're watching the NHL playoffs as well, who are you rooting for in that? Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Deuces.